It was a cold, damp evening in the small town of Black Hollow. The kind of evening where the air feels heavy and every sound seems amplified. The forest surrounding the town was known for its beauty during the day, but at night it was a different story. Emily Carter, a 28-year-old journalist, had come to Black Hollow to investigate a series of mysterious disappearances. She was determined to uncover the truth, but as she stepped into the forest, she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The fog was thick, clinging to her skin like a cold, wet blanket. The only sound was the crunch of leaves under her boots and the occasional rustle of branches in the wind. She gripped her flashlight tightly, its weak beam barely piercing the darkness. "I shouldn't have come here alone," she muttered to herself, her voice trembling. But it was too late to turn back now. As Emily ventured deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around her. The shadows grew longer and the air grew colder. She could hear whispers, faint, almost imperceptible, but they were there. She stopped in her tracks, her heart pounding in her chest. "Hello, hello, hello," she called out, her voice echoing through the trees. There was no response, only the sound of her own breathing. She took a step forward, and then another, each one slower than the last. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be coming from all around her, but when she turned her head, there was nothing there. Emily's flashlight flickered, and for a moment she was plunged into darkness. She shook it frantically, and the light came back on, but it was weaker now. She could feel her panic rising, her breath coming in short, shallow gasps. And then she saw it. A shadowy figure standing just at the edge of the light. It was tall, impossibly tall, and its shape was wrong. It didn't move, didn't make a sound, but Emily could feel its presence, like a weight pressing down on her chest. Who are you?" she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. The figure didn't respond. It just stood there, watching her. And then, slowly, it began to move towards her. Emily's instincts screamed at her to run, but her legs felt like they were rooted to the spot. She could see the figure more clearly now, but it was still shrouded in shadow. Its movements were slow, deliberate, and utterly terrifying. She took a step back, then another, her eyes never leaving the figure. The whispers were louder now, almost deafening, and she realized with a start that they were coming from the figure itself. "Leave this place," it hissed, its voice a low, guttural growl. "You do not belong here." Emily's heart was racing, her mind a whirlwind of fear and confusion. She wanted to run, to scream, to do anything but stand there, but she couldn't move. And then, the figure lunged. Emily spun on her heel and ran, her feet pounding against the forest floor. Branches whipped at her face, and the fog seemed to thicken with every step. She could hear the figure behind her, its footsteps heavy and relentless. She didn't know where she was going, only that she had to get away. The whispers were everywhere now, filling her ears, her mind, her very soul. She could feel them pulling at her, trying to drag her back. "No!" she screamed, her voice breaking. "Leave me alone." Emily burst into a clearing, her chest heaving, her legs giving out beneath her. She collapsed to the ground, her hands clutching at the grass, the dirt, anything to anchor herself to reality. The whispers faded, replaced by an oppressive silence. She looked around, her eyes wide with fear, but the figure was gone. The clearing was empty, save for the faint glow that seemed to emanate from the very air. She didn't know how long she sat there, her mind racing, her body trembling. But eventually she forced herself to stand, to keep moving. She had to get out of the forest, had to get back to town. Emily stumbled out of the forest, her legs shaking, her mind a jumble of fear and relief. The town was just ahead, its lights a beacon of safety. But as she walked towards it, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She glanced over her shoulder, half expecting to see the shadowy figure standing there, waiting for her. But there was nothing, only the dark, silent forest. She reached the edge of town, her heart still pounding, her breath still ragged. She had made it out, but she knew that the forest wasn't done with her. Emily turned back to the forest, her eyes narrowing. She had come here to uncover the truth, and she wasn't going to let a shadowy figure and some whispers scare her off. "I'll be back," she whispered, her voice steady despite the fear that still gripped her. "And I'll find out what's really going on in there." The forest seemed to respond to her words, the whispers growing louder, more insistent. And as Emily walked away, she couldn't shake the feeling that the shadowy figure was still there, watching her, waiting for her to return. Because the forest wasn't done with her, not yet. But that is a story for another time.